Kia ora. Today's training is all about improving your lung function, improving your range of motion throughout the whole body, and improved flexibility. Jack from Yoga Republic is teaching us through this session today. So breathe deep, do your best, and enjoy.
Today's my yoga.
So today we are doing a somewhat less dynamic but nevertheless nonetheless effective yin style of yoga. So we're going to assume either of two positions, sitting positions, Japanese style sitting position that I'll be sitting in, or Hayden with a cross-legged one leg over. Either way, the spine nice and long. We're going to maintain length through the spine just before we are about to begin our breathing exercise today, which will be alternative nostril breathing, relaxing the shoulders, just again that sense of arrival that's really important whenever we do any form of yoga. So with the left hand, we're going to keep the left hand down on the knee, thumb to the index finger mudra, intention, good intention and wisdom. With the right hand, we're going to use the index finger, the thumb and the little finger. So what we do is we bring the index finger there just at the bridge of the nose, in between your eyebrows, the third eye chakra. We're going to keep the eyes closed when we do this breathing also. We're going to use the thumb to close the right nostril. We're going to use the little finger to close the left nostril as we inhale and exhale. To begin the practice, we take a deep inhale and we close the right nostril. We exhale through the left nostril. Inhaling through the left, closing the left, exhaling slowly through the right. So just continuing with that. Mouth closed, and we have a soft Ujjayi breath here. A little bit softer than in our more dynamic flow yoga or other yogas. Checking on spine length every now and then. Checking that the shoulders are relaxed. Slowly the breathing gets somewhat deeper, longer, imagining that the air is lifting at the back of the spine all the way to the top. As it rolls over at the front of the spine all the way down. And with every inhale, exhale, we start to press a little bit more air out by pressing the diaphragm or abdominal wall in. Taking the next breath in, sucking it in, lifting the air higher into the chest area, and then letting it drop all the way down. Okay, right hand drops, hands slowly go back forward. And we go into one of our first longer postures. Of course, here we're going to be holding the postures quite a bit longer. Roughly 3 minutes is what we ideally want to spend or more in our long holds. Our first one being our lizard posture. So the right foot at the outside of the right hand, and we're going to move our way into it, just sort of feel our way into it, never feeling trapped here. Extending the left leg back and then bringing the left elbow down first. Now maybe the right elbow will come down as well, but maybe not. It's okay. Just keep the palm onto the mat with the elbow off the mat, and just sort of work your way into the depth. Allow your breath to take you. With the hands, you can keep the palms open, relaxed with that same gesture of openness, or if you feel like interlacing your fingers and resting the forehead on the thumbs, that's up to you. More options in our yin. And with yin yoga, a lot less about force. A lot more about letting go. Yielding. Letting go of resistance. Yielding like water. Relax your shoulders. Just check there's no tension through the neck. And return to your breath. Ujjayi breath. At some point in time you might be ready as the body starts to open up to walk your elbows and hands more forward. Or Your left leg might be able to get a little bit longer. If you feel like drawing your right knee further out to the right side as you turn the inside of that, or the outside of your right foot a little bit lower. Or you might be just happy where you are. Head shake every now and then is okay. And even while we're in here, every now and then, if it gets a little bit too uncomfortable, some movement left and right. If ever it gets too intense, the key is not to react too quickly. Rather, come to a manageable place. Just a little bit out, then you might find your way back in. Slowly. Starting our practice with more sort of opening hip postures, and to come out always very slowly, head up last of all for any forward fold postures. Okay, so from this one to another very popular posture, the half pigeon. So just slowly, gently walking your right foot out to the left hand side, palms back flat to the mat, your right knee to the right wrist, dropping your left hip down, maybe touching your heel on the mat. Left leg somewhat longer, pushing the fingers into the mat. Lift the chest up, breathe into the air of the chest. Inhale, exhale, we come down into our half moon. Walk your hands forward until the head drops. Once the hands can't walk anymore forward, drop your shoulders. Now that already might be too intense, so like Hayden, variation is just to keep your elbows on the mat, resting the body weight on the elbows, but still here relaxing your head. Remember, it doesn't really matter how much we're feeling or what we're feeling. We're not labeling it. We're all feeling something. Everyone's made up so differently, which is what makes us so unique. What's hard for one might be quite easy for another, and the other way around. So we just let go of all those judgments. And surrender to the posture. And your breath is the path. Come back to it. Acknowledge the distractions. And then let them go. So we slowly push back up. Same way again, head up last of all. Restacking the spine through the upper neck. Dropping the right hip down to the mat, and we extend the left leg out all the way and forward. And here, a few options. We can just go an easy cross-legged, the left foot in front of the right, or the left foot over the calf muscle. Some people who are more open can go right on top of the knee, the heel on top of the knee for the full double pigeon. Either way, lifting up first, getting length, reaching forward, drop your hands. And that might only be what you can touch to the mat, that's okay. The elbows might touch as well. Wherever you are, again, just relax the head. Happy hips, happy surfers. Once the hips open up, of course, releasing a lot of other muscles through within. One being the psoas muscle, the only muscle that connects the spine to the back of the leg muscles. Considering that probably regarded as one of our most important muscles, if not the most. but wherever they be, the muscles, once we lengthen them, less chance of injury. And of course, with surfing, good to be more flexible for pop-ups, for turns, anything. Less chance of tearing muscles when we do all those extreme things. Coming back. And of course with yin, you're welcome to hold these postures longer. Here of course we've got roughly sort of between 1 to 2 minutes or less sometimes, but ideally they want to be about 3 minutes or even more. Okay, so we come out the same way mindfully as always, but keeping the left foot forward, bringing the right leg back, and walk it back so your knee already further back than your right hip, and it's just a nice easy transition to the other side for lizard. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Walking the hands forward a bit, one elbow at a time. Normally the right elbow drops first on this side. Again, manage it, keep your left palm down without dropping the left elbow, and just lower it enough so you start to feel that lovely stretch through the hip, front, flexor, glutamus, maximus, medium, minimus. And breathing, remember, breathe into the spaces here of any tightness, of discomfort. And with that you create more space through the nervous system and our fascia system, our web-like system, like a spider web. It runs from toes all the way through to the fingers, connecting everything, every part to each other. System of information. So to come out again, just very slowly peeling and feeling your way out, head up last of all. Coming up onto the fingertips, and we go the other side with half pigeon, walking the foot out, lowering the hands, palms back down, and your left knee to the left wrist. Extend the right leg back, lower the right hip more down to the mat or your left heel. A little bit of spine lift first, and right hip draws down as you lift up on the inhale. And so we come down. Just remembering that yoga is not meant to be comfortable. In fact, anytime it starts to get overly comfortable, it's time to reach a new place, always adjusting some things. In this case, the left foot, if you want to walk it a bit closer towards your right armpit, making your left leg longer, or at any time walking your hands forward. Most of the time, the postures we dislike most actually become our favorite postures. This is a good example actually for me. I really disliked this posture when I first started yoga. And true enough, I love the sound of it now. And I've still got a long way to go, and that's the other great thing about yoga. It always evolves, there's always somewhere to go with it. Our path. And the path is to silence. The inevitable path. Silence of mind. And silence of body. Okay, so we come out pushing into the mat, feeling the blood traveling back through and out the hip into the spine. Right leg extends out and across. Take the same position as you did the other side, either on calf or forward or higher up. Lengthen, inhale. Keep the length as long as you can until the hands drop. Then let the spine relax. Walk your hands slightly more forward, drop the elbows. And again, they might not drop, that's okay. Just keep your hands there softly onto the mat, checking your shoulders are relaxed, the neck relaxed. And once again, we surrender slowly. We simplify to just that of breath. Breathing a little bit deeper now into the chest area of the lungs. Checking on your Ujjayi breath. Remember, in Yin Yoga, much more accessible, pretty much for the whole practice, most of the time. Throat smaller, both inhale and exhale. Same length of time, equanimous breaths. Noticing how the body gets heavier. Arms can walk more forward. Feeling your way out. Hands push in, being mindful ankles and knees as you push forward onto the knees. Walking back on the knees. Pretty much until the feet are almost at the edge of the mat. So we've got the knees and feet hip distance wide. Same with the hands underneath the shoulders. Just sort of feel the spine, a little bit of movement up and down before we venture into our puppy posture or open heart posture as well. Initially just the elbows down. Now we can go wider arms, which is a little bit easier. Arms closer, shoulder width apart, a bit more intense. So you might want to start with wider arms and then see how you go from there. So we slowly walk the elbows forward, but as we do that, we keep lifting the hips up and we slowly press the chest down. So in the end, we want the chest and the chin down to the mat. Now that might be too intense also. Just sort of go as far as your spine will allow you. It's quite intense here through our lower spine region. Two positions with the toes also. You can bring them up as I have just then, or you can bring them back down, whatever serves you better there. Sometimes there might be some discomfort, unwanted in the knees. You'll find probably one position will serve you better than another there. Okay, so here, coming back to your breath. The warmth will be building up gradually, slowly, again, mainly in the lower spine. Remember to manage it. If it gets too much, just walk yourself out a little bit to a place you can manage, or if you like, walk the hands more forward, longer, but then start to push the floor away with your hands actually to lift the hips up high if you want to feel more as you press the chest back down into the mat. That's what we're feeling. It's called open heart or puppy, if you want the other names, many different names, different postures these days. But you feel the heart beating quite heavily, very open, very vulnerable, and that's what it wants to feel like, defenseless and vulnerable. And with that, you know for sure the heart's more open. And so we slide forward carefully to come out. Another option is to push your way very slowly all the way back towards child's posture. For me, I just prefer to let the belly drop first. It's a nice sensation. And then from there, carefully we go sliding back, knees wide apart. So as we push back to our balasana, child's posture, the belly relaxed, the spine getting a little bit of a counter stretch. Really nice feeling also as we come back into this way back up. And do a little static angry cat, I call it. So just pushing the floor away with your hands, shoulders pressing down into the mat, tucking the tailbone down and forward as you lift the spine up as high as you can, maintaining that height. And we'll release. Coming out, right knee bends and left leg bends, both to the same position, or 90-90, two legs just like an L shape. Slowly we go to 90-90 twist. Really great twisting posture, feel good posture, more so when we come out of it. It will be fairly challenging to most. So place a towel to roughly where you think you're going to land as we rotate around to the right side, walking until you sort of can't walk anymore. Further the hands out, drawing the left hip a little bit more forward. Extend the right arm long, but keep enough space so you can bring the left hand through with the left palm open, dropping your head down on your towel. Slowly lower your left shoulder back into the mat, and also still continuously sort of drawing the right armpit or down as the right arm stays extended. I always like to imagine my breathing like little waves on the shore here in Phuket, one of my favorite beaches, Sarin Beach. During December and January we have very calm waters, very slow, small waves to the shore, but they're really sort of connective. At the same time, there's a pause in between the breath, just like the wave, but a connective pause. Almost like the one breath, inhale and exhale together like a circle of breath. Water-like, also a good thought to have through the practice, yielding, yet very strong and very powerful as an element, if not the most. Coming back out the same way. And easy switch, another way. L shape, inside of the right heel on the mat, and we walk out to the left side. Right hip a little bit more forward, right arm through, drop the head, and then start to press the right shoulder, and then just play with it, a little bit of left shoulder down to the mat movement. There's great power, great strength. It comes from yoga. We all pretty much find the physical part pretty quickly. I think for most of us, yoga is quite a lot harder than what we think it to be when we first do it. The harder part is the mind, to quiet and to strengthen the mind at the same time. And that comes with the breath. Not so tangible. It takes a lot longer to understand. But it comes with dedication and practice and belief. Coming back out. Feels so good to come out of that one. Okay, we're going to walk the hips a little bit closer, and a lovely little hug that you so deserve. Press the knees into the chest, touch your forehead on the knee, slowly walk back onto the toes. Keep really tight and round, and keep going. Walk back until you roll all the way back. Have a couple of rolls forward and back. Relax the head. Feet back down with open knees, heels, toes touching. arms open, shoulders relax. Left and right a little bit with the knees, again just to check there's no resistance. Often there will be. It's that fear factor. We hold on too much. Feet forward about halfway to a diamond shape. Just a slightly different sort of sensation through the hips with that. Let the knees be heavy. Let the spine relax. And your belly. And Shavasana. We're there. So here, if you have more time, at least 5 minutes or even longer, really is a wonderful time here. The body's so open and relaxed. Just working your way through the body from toes to the top of the head if you haven't got much time. Ridding any tension. Spine heavy to the mat. Hands, palms to prayer. Coming back up slowly. Namaste. Thank you for joining us for our yin practice today.